Page 97, Barcarolle, very famous melody from an opera by Offenbach. It's a nice arrangement. Well, let's look it over. The thing we're in is A major. That's the whole point of the lesson. It's 1 page long of music. There's repeat signs all over the place. I'll talk about those later. 3 sharps in the key signature. We're in the key of A major. Make sure you're doing the A major scale, like on 1 octave up and down. Okay. And 6/8 time, so an 8th note gets a count. Right hand first. We have this mess at the beginning. Well, spell it out. It is a B, a C sharp, and an E. All the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1. Oh, isn't this fun? Okay. Measure 5. You're in this position. Just stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, an 8th note gets a count. Now you finish that line, or measure 8 here. You got to lift up and move. There's not a lot of help here. I can offer other suggestions on fingering so we don't have to go from a 3 to a 2. But they just cause other problems. So we'll just go with this. Sometimes we have to do this. So you're ending measure 8 here. And when you go to measure 9, you just lift up and move. You're coming from this position to this position. Here, so. And the rhythm is the same. It's note. You just different notes, okay. Now when you finish measure 12 here, and you want to go to measure 13, you're going back down. So you're going from 2 to 3. Now there I can offer one suggestion if you'd like to try it. And that is you have 2 E's at the end of the line here. I could play 4th finger on the dotted half note because it's here. I could change there, and that way I'm ready for 3 on the next line. If you want, don't have to. You go ahead and just play it with 2 and come down for measure 13. Whichever. And measure 17 is sort of like a scale. And I do a 2 on that. You can do a 1/5 for measure 18 if you'd like, but I like to stay out here. And then measure 19, it's the same chord you had at the beginning here, except the 8 VA is above it, so you got to go up here. And they say 2, 3, 5. That's because you're coming from here. You can use 1, 2, 4 if you want. I mean, they got you using 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 4 works if you'd rather. I can do a 1, 2, 3. I can do lots of stuff. So how you finger this is up to you. Just pick one and stick with it. Left hand. Well, remember a dotted quarter note is the same as 3/8 notes. So in 6/8 time, it's going to get 3 counts. So quarter note gets 2. Here we got them tied together. That's 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for measure 5, that dotted half note is the same as 6/8 notes, which is 6 counts. It's the whole measure. 1 chord, 5, 7. 1 chord, measure 9. Left hand's not moving around. That's nice. Until the end. The last measure, that is an A with an 8 VA under it. That means you go down. So instead of here, you're going to hear it. You got a whole measure of rest there. You got plenty of time. So as you're playing those 8th notes in the right hand, you get the left hand where it goes. Which finger you use to play that, it's up to you. Pick a finger. Put them together. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Just real slow and careful. We just want a regular steady pulse. Measure 5, you're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No big deal. That's about as hard as it gets. And measure 17, you get the 4 chord in the left hand. You can do this if you'd rather. If you don't want to be up in here, I'll leave that up to you. It's just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Okay. So you go through and put the hands together and then go back over the touchy spots or the tough spots or whatever they are and work out the hesitations. So it's a steady eighth note pulse all the way through. And then we think about the articulation, which in this case, it's all pretty much connected. So just connect it. You can't connect the repeated notes, but you get as close as you can. You can lift up for the phrase, you got to move anyway. So you can lift up at the end of each line, it's the end of a phrase. You can lift up for that. You don't need to lift up in the left hand, although you have to, you're playing chords anyway. So you just as well lift up in both hands. Then the dynamics, P at the beginning, piano, it's going to be both hands here, there's no melody. Whatever you think soft is. And then measure 5, it's MP, mezzo piano. That's the melody is in the right hand. That's the sort of soft. The left hand, very soft. And then measure 9, MF, mezzo forte. Now you're going up to moderately loud in the right hand. You can get a little louder in the left hand, but keep it in the background. Measure 13, come back down to moderately soft. And measure 17, you're soft. Left hand's very soft. And you're ending it soft. There's a retardando there. R-I-T, slow down. Yeah. The song actually ended on measure 16. That's it, you're done. This last line is like a coda, or a tag on the end of the piece, an afterthought. So you just... Now they have repeat signs everywhere. So the second, third, and fourth lines are all repeated. They're surrounded by repeat signs. So you're going to play each of those lines twice. So it's 3 lines longer than it looks. Speed, again, is that 6/8 time problem we run into. Do you want to feel the eighth notes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, because that's not real slow. Do you want to feel the natural accents? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because that is really slow. Go listen to the orchestras play it. You'll find that they'll play it slightly different, but it's a nice flowing, swaying piece. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in the astral accent. Make sure you feel the natural accents. And they've added pedal. Not everywhere. We don't want to smear the melody up, like here. We don't want to smear that up. However, we might be able to pedal it anyway. They're suggesting pedal like all on the first line, which is an introduction, and on the last line, which is a coda. They're suggesting pedaling the whole thing. And you can get away with it here because there's no real melody and it's all one chord. It's a one chord. The harmony is a one chord all the way through. It doesn't change. Well, 17, I got a problem with that because they got a 4 chord on measure 17 and then go to a 1 chord. I would really rather not mix those together because that would be here and here. And you get all of that. Well, that's not real pleasant. I'd like to adjust the pedaling a little and we can experiment and see what comes up. The first line, if I pedal it all the way across, then I'm going to put the note down first and then the pedal. Lift it up for the 8th rest, and the measure 5, they're not pedaling this. And then they pedal the last measure. Okay, if that's what you want. I would prefer a little more overtones throughout, but I don't want to smear it up. Just wait and change it at each measure with harmony more or less. I'm smearing. I don't want that. But what I can do is I can change it every 3 beats. I'll change it twice in a measure. Here and here. So. There. Or I can just pedal it long enough to connect the left hand. Here, right before I play the next chord, I'll put it down and then play the chord and then lift up. I'm connecting the chords so that different effects. It depends on what you want. It also lets me connect some of these repeated notes in the right hand too. I kind of like that effect, I think, of putting the pedal down on the 6th beat of every measure and lifting it up right after I play the first beat of the next measure. So measure 5 is here. As I play that, put it pedal down and lift it up right after I play the first beat of the next measure. Measure 8, you can leave it down. You don't have to. And then lift it up for the phrase to when I repeat or go on, either one. I'll do that on those lines. And then the last line, if I pedal it all the way across, in my mind, that's an error. That's got to be an error. You need to do a change pedal between measure 17 and 18. You're changing the harmony. So it's here. Change right. And I would change here also. And I would change there. So I end up changing on every measure. I'm dying away, I'm slowing down. I don't want all these overtones keep going. I want to lose them. So that last note, I pedal it so it gets overtones, but it's by itself. So the last line again is here. Change, change, change. That's how I would do it. It's interpretation. Different people will interpret it differently. They'll play it differently. You experiment with the different effects the pedal is having. Listen very carefully. If you retardato at the end, then that last note is going to sound like it lasts longer than 6 counts. That's just because you slowed down. You don't need to play it like I did. You don't copy me, please. Get into the music and feel it and experiment with this stuff. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 6 counts. I'm not doing louds and softs. Doing it all about the same. I'm going to pedal it like I suggested. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, go. Rest. 2, 6, 2. 2, 3, 5. Repeat. 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.